Hey everyone, this is No Reviews, and before I get started on this review, I want to tell you about something. Videos on this channel will either go out the 1st, 8th, 15th, 22nd, and 28th of a month, starting at 2:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, for a little more consistency. Timestamps to areas in this review will also be in this video's description. 2024's Transformers 1 is an animated action-adventure comedy that has a genre turn, prettily and intentionally designed visuals and bots, clear and engaging action scenes, with standout to alright vocal performances. This movie is also an origin story that sets up a familiar rivalry. What that rivalry is familiar to Transformers fans, but I believe if you just pay attention to the movie, you can still enjoy it without any previous lore knowledge. This movie follows Dee, Orion, Alita, B-127, and other Cybertronians that transform to be against others. Though once you've seen a particular name of a character, the reveal of what he is a bit predictable. Even with Sentinel turning out the way he did, it didn't always come off that way to me, performance-wise. Ham's Sentinel came off more as another type of character than the one he turned up being. When he was like, "I said no speeches, they don't listen," it didn't come off as the ways it could have been, in my opinion. There was some line delivery examples of where it came across more of what he turned up being, but there wasn't a lot of them. Tyree Henry's Megatron had a comedic beginning to torn on what he wanted and did do to a particular character, to eventually fully changing and not saving others. Johansson's Alita was funny, pissed, and just wanted to be highly appreciated, especially in a rant to a character if their plan went south. If you've seen the trailer, you know that Soundwave, Shockwave, and Starscream are in the movie. Alvarez's Shockwave was unnecessarily aggressive, which was funny, especially with his reaction of not wanting to follow a character before and after they threatened him. He brought a youthful energy to B-127, sometimes was a comedic relief, and probably wouldn't be in the movie if he wasn't around something. Hemsworth Orion excelled comedically at first, but was fine with the rest of his performance. The rest of the voice cast, including Buscemi's brief Starscream, was fine, but it didn't stand out to me. Despite a genre of this movie being not listed, this movie is more than meets the eye. This is truly another movie in disguise. I couldn't help myself, sorry, but I'd like to warn you that this movie turns into something else, which I won't reveal because I like for it to surprise you. It cemented its turn with character reactions to reveals and what they plan to do. Seeing this opening night and that character yelling "that" out deafened the theater and even surprised me. That is when the movie started to turn little by little. It still had comedic elements coming from the Cybertronian High Guard in B-127, but it turned into a whole nother genre in the reveals and in the actions and reactions of the characters. The swelling and elaborate musical score went with the reveals and the rest of the movie, and cut when it had to, especially in some turning moments. This turn in genres was supported by the cast, story, music, and visuals. The animation, bots, and visual design in this movie was stunning and shiny. The visual design supported the movie thematically. When a character turned, closed their eyes, the music twisted, the bottom half of the screen darkened, A part of them physically changed, and they didn't want to help a character anymore. That moment on screen was just moving. Despite what some big and influential media companies might say, the action scenes were not a blur, and the virtual camera had a clear focus on what or whom to pay attention to. Let's just say you can't spell ignorance without IGN. A lot of the visual gags didn't land for me, but some of them did, such as a character locking their legs after they said that they can transform, and then just hightailing it. If you are going to see this in theaters, I do have to warn you about something. I saw this in 2 separate theaters, and the mix was very effects and sound focused, and voices were a bit soft. So, if you want to get the best mix, the bet would be to sit in the center of the theater, which is not ideal for everyone, including myself. This can be more of a problem depending on the size of the screen in a particular theater when this movie has a wide aspect ratio. Transformers 1 is an animated action-adventure comedy that has a genre turn, prettily intensely designed visuals and bots, clear and engaging action scenes, with standout to alright vocal performances. Hemsworth Orion was comedic to fine, and Ham's Sentinel came off more something else compared to what it could have been. The second half of the movie and credits scene set up this cast for a sequel, and based on what they did with it, I would like to see more. That, however, depends on getting butts in the right seats based on the audio problems I had. Because if people don't go to this and the movie doesn't make enough, the sequel won't even be made. Despite this call to action, with my theaters as some audio issues and vocal performances not coming across as much as they could have to me, this is still a pretty solid movie. Transformers 1 gets an 88 out of 100. I have more content here on my Creative Critter Nerb, Nerby Games Gaming, and Nerdware Product Reviews channels in this video description's links. You'll also find my support pages there, and anything related to Nerb Views displays now.